Hello everyone, welcome to a new video. This one is actually a flip through of an album that I did from 2016. I just finished it now, so yes, it's taken me slightly over 2 years. It's from August of 2016. My family and I went to Orlando. We went to Universal Studios, and I had so many layouts that I did from all the pictures. I actually have two albums. I have this one, which is all the sort of generic and general stuff from Universal, and getting there and getting home. And then I will have a separate one that I'll do a flip through for that's just stuff from the Wizarding World of Harry Potter. We're all Potterheads in my family, and so I took tons and tons of photos, and it ended up having to be its own album. So you'll get that one too. But we're going to start with this one. I do want to say ahead of time the camera may be a little shaky because I have to do it handheld for this. If I have it on the arm that I normally use, it will not be able to show 2-page spreads. So it's handheld, so I apologize if it's a little shaky, but here we go. So this is my opening page. Most of these cards are from, oops, and this one. Maybe not these two. I think these might be from something else. But most of these cards are from a Creative Memories kit that is made for pocket pages, and I just decided to put them together to make kind of a layout with it here. And then this is just a wood veneer piece, and I believe that is from Heidi Swapp. So it's going to look kind of funny at first because there are different levels here. I believe I have 30 page protectors here, so that's quite a few layouts. So this features photos of us flying to Orlando. So this was my younger son's first time on a plane. My older son had been on a plane, but as a very young child, so he didn't really remember it either. So really, it was the first experience that they remember. So wanted to get some shots on the plane, and then when we got to the airport in Orlando. And then we stayed at Cabana Bay. So these are some pictures from our hotel. If you've never been there, it's a very retro themed hotel. So it's very kind of 50s, 60s vibe, which we thought was very cool. So I had fun taking photos around the hotel and showcasing them here. And then we have both inside and outside. And so you'll get to really see the retro theme on all of this. And this is behind a page protector, but this particular piece here is actually it's a holder for a key card. So you open this up, and I actually have one of our key cards in there. They let you keep them, which is awesome if you're a scrapbooker. So I just used red line tape and secured it inside the folder. At some point I will probably cut the page protector here so that if somebody wants to actually open it, they can. But right now I do not have that done. I'll get there eventually. So some more photos around the hotel. This is it's a piece of paper from a little stationery pad that they had in our room. And I thought that was cool, so I included that. And then this is another one of our key cards. And so I just blacked out the info there. And then again, I used red line tape to adhere it to the page. And I love this. Look at the retro VO5 styling there. Very cool. And more around the hotel. This was a little bit further away from our room. They have an arcade and a bowling alley right in the hotel. So I wanted to make sure that I got some pictures of that. And then this is the dining area. It is ginormous. So if you eat in their diner that's on the premises, you can eat in here. And we did do that twice during our stay. So I do have some photos of that. One was a breakfast, which I did not include here. And then we had a dinner one night, and that is closer to the end. So this was just our first night there. We really didn't have much time to do anything other than have our groceries delivered and check into our hotel and kind of walk around and see things. And then we did a little walk over through the grounds of the hotel to City Walk, which is kind of the entertainment complex that sits outside of Universal. So you can see the Hard Rock in the background there. And here we were all excited. We were doing Pokemon Go. It had pretty much just come out, and we caught, I think it was a Dratini. We've been trying to get one, and they're more common in Florida apparently, and so we all got one and we were very excited. So here's some more photos from City Walk. So you can see how lit up it is. So definitely more for entertainment. And then we head into the next day where we actually went into the parks. So we caught the SpongeBob parade, And we are SpongeBob fans, more so of the older seasons than now, but we thought the parade was cool. And then my husband's a huge fan of Back to the Future, so we had to stop here, and he actually met Doc Brown. They had a nice conversation. It was very fun. So then we passed through the Simpsons area, and my husband also loves the Simpsons. I'm not a huge fan, but he really likes it, and so I wanted to make sure that we got those included as well. And then we spent most of the day doing Harry Potter stuff, so this is actually back in the evening when we were back at our hotel. And these are just some shots of the outside areas. So the pool, the exterior of the hotel, very much a retro vibe happening, even the bus stop sign. And this little vintage truck here is from Doodlebug. And then we went back into the parks and we went on the side that has some other things other than Harry Potter. So it's Jurassic Park and King Kong and Marvel and that kind of stuff. And this was a ride there featuring Jimmy Fallon. It wasn't quite open yet. They were still building it, but I did take some photos of it. And then we got to the Despicable Me area. And we did go on the ride. We actually ended up doing it more than once. It was really fun. My kids enjoyed it. I thought maybe they were maybe a little too old for it, but we all really liked it. It's one of those 3D rides where you sit in the seat and then they have smells and water shoots at you as you watch a scene. So that was pretty fun. And then just some random shots around the park. And then we also caught this parade. So there's Vector in there. It's kind of hard to see, but that's who's in the car there. And then we went to Shrek. That was also a fun ride too. We did that more than once as well. Not my gumdrop buttons. I loved that. I almost bought that shirt, but I didn't. I refrained. And then this was a display that was actually right in our hotel. They had a whole store done up with Minions stuff. So I thought, well, you know what? If you're going to do that, then I'm going to take photos of it. I actually did end up buying a shirt for the son of a friend of mine because he loves the Minions. And then it was super hot that day, so we actually came back in the middle of the day and went to the pool for a while. We took a dip. So we have some photos of that as well. This is a layout style that I like to do, especially for trips. I do pocket pages. So this is a pocket here. Different type of pocket page than what we think of now, but I create a pocket at the bottom and then I drop things in. So I've got a map in the background here of our hotel and then just some miscellaneous things like one of our boarding passes and a receipt from around the hotel, another piece of that stationery, and I just use some chipboard and some extra things on the pocket to liven it up a little bit. And then again, there's my key card. So I adhered that one as well. And then this is my husband and I just being dorks on our way into the park one morning. And then these are just some random shots from around Universal going in and out. So there are 2 parks there if you've never been there. And just depends on which way you go in, really. And we did both parks when we were there. We had the park-to-park pass. So it looks a little different depending on which way you go in and out of the parks. And then we're on to another day. This was, Seuss Landing. We bought the package where you could go into the park an hour early. So on this day, we did go in early, passing through Seuss Landing. So there was nobody there. It was really nice. We could take our time and really enjoy it. And then Scooby-Doo. Can't go wrong with Scooby-Doo. And then I had so much stuff that I made another pocket page here. So this is just a huge sticker that I got in a pack of stuff that was related to Universal. It was licensed by them. And then I also had a blank gift card. I asked one of the shops if they would let me take one that wasn't loaded with any money. They said yes. So there it is. And then they have a holiday shop. And whenever I take a trip, I have a friend who collects Christmas ornaments. And so I said, okay, if I can find a cool one there, I'll go in and I'll shop for you. And I didn't actually end up buying one here. But it was really fun to look around because all of the ornaments, were things from different movies. So that was fun. So as you can see, there are some minions on the tree. So it's still fun to shop. And then we're not big Transformer people, but as we were passing by, Bumblebee was outside. So we thought, well, we'll stay and watch it a little bit. And then we have the rock and roll coaster. So I got a picture of that. And I think, if I remember right, 4 out of 5 of us went on that. And this is later that night. It was very hot still, so we decided to go to the pool at night. And our hotel shows a different movie every night at their pools. And so this was a Thor movie when we were there. We kind of watched it. We mostly just swam and had drinks and relaxed. So then another day that we're back in the park. This time we went in through Islands of Adventure, which has like Jurassic Park and the Marvel stuff and Toontown and all of that. So we were in the Jurassic Park area here. And there we are on the official Jurassic Park ride, which was fantastic because it was so hot and we needed a water ride at that point. We were like, yes, just, drench us, that's fine. And then we decided to go into the big Jurassic Park store to see what they had. And I don't think we ended up buying anything there that I remember, but we had fun looking at everything. And the way they had the displays was really cool. And it looked very much like in the movies. That's always fun. So here we are in Toontown. So lots of vintage stuff, Popeye and Betty Boop and that kind of stuff. And we loved all these signs that they had. And then this was one of my favorites. Growing up, I loved the Rocky and Bullwinkle cartoons, and they actually have a ride that features those characters. It's based on Dudley Do-Right. It's called Dudley Do-Right's Ripsaw Falls. There you go. But it has all the characters, and I used to love Boris and Natasha and how evil they were. So I did some journaling about that. And again, it was a water ride, and we needed that. It was very hot and humid that day. So we were happy to get soaked. That was not a problem. And then we ventured over into the other area. So this is the Mummy. That's the ride. And then these are some items in the shop. And the Hulk. Now this is a fantastic ride, I have to say. However, this was the only ride in both parks that gave me a problem. I have a back issue. And I rode this once. Never again. I knew right away that it was not a ride for me. But once you're on it, can't really get off. So I put up with it till I got off. But I turned right to my family and I said, you know what, guys? I can't do that one again. It's too painful for me. So if you guys want to go again, that's fine. I'll be waiting over here. And then my older son was so looking forward to this. He's a huge Marvel fan. So we got to see a lot of the main stuff and go into the shops. But then here comes the next one. This is my favorite layout in this album. My son got to meet Captain America. And there's a very cool story that goes with it, and I journaled about it there. And it was just a really, really good experience all the way around. And I have to say, whoever trains these characters to do the job that they do, they're fantastic. Because this was the highlight of the trip for my son. He's a Harry Potter fan, but this was the highlight. And, Captain America spent 2 or 3 minutes just talking with him, shook his hand, obviously. They talked about other characters that are in this universe, and he just had the best time. So they did an excellent job. I'm very happy with Universal for how they do that. And these are just some night shots as we were exiting the park. They always have it lit up well, and there's a fountain show that goes on here. That's here and this one, so that's fun. Then here are those food photos from our hotel. So this was from when we had the dinner, and it's called the Bayliner Diner. That is the restaurant that's inside, and you can get pretty much whatever you want. They have lots and lots of choices. So my kids all got to pick out something they would actually eat, and we got to have what we like, and it was all good. And then we are at the end. These are photos from our flight home. So here we are leaving our hotel. We did the super shuttle just to make it easier. Hanging out in Orlando's airport and then flying in the air, getting back home. So that is it for that album. I hope you enjoyed seeing how everything looks put together, and I hope it gives you some ideas for your next project too. Thanks for watching.